Hello everyone, and welcome back to the show. We are so glad you are here with us today. We have a really fun and practical topic for you. And by the end of this episode, you are going to have a much stronger vocabulary around one of the most important places in any person's life.
That is right. Today we are talking about school vocabulary. We are going to cover the words you need to talk about the classroom, the people in a school, school subjects, equipment, and everyday school life. Whether you're a student yourself, a parent, or just someone who wants to talk about education in English, this episode is for you.
We're going to keep everything simple and clear. We'll introduce the vocabulary in groups, give you lots of examples and sentences, talk about common mistakes learners make, do a quiz, and help you feel genuinely confident using these words in real conversations. Let us get started.
Let us begin with the places inside a school. These are words you need when describing where something happens.
The main room where students learn is called a classroom. The teacher stands at the front of the classroom. Students sit at their desks in the classroom. Each classroom usually has a board at the front where the teacher writes.
The place where students eat their lunch is called the canteen. In American English, it is more common to call it the cafeteria. Both words mean the same thing. The school canteen serves hot meals every day. Students queue up in the cafeteria at lunchtime.
The library is the room where students go to find books and study quietly. You can borrow books from the library. The library is usually a quiet place where you are expected to work without making noise.
The place where students go for sports and exercise is called the gymnasium, or the gym for short. We have PE lessons in the gym every Tuesday. PE stands for physical education, and it's the subject where students do sports and physical activities.
The outdoor area where students go during break time is called the playground. In secondary school, it is sometimes called the schoolyard. Children play in the playground at lunch.
The room where teachers go to relax and prepare lessons is called the staff room. Students are usually not allowed in the staff room.
The room at the front of the school where visitors arrive is called reception. If you're unsure where to go to reception and ask. The school secretary usually sits there.
The room where students do science experiments is called the laboratory, or the lab. We have a chemistry lesson in the science lab today.
Now let's talk about the people you find in a school. These are important words that come up in every conversation about school life.
The person who teaches a subject is called a teacher. A teacher who works in a university is usually called a lecturer or a professor. At school level, the word teacher is used for all subjects. The maths teacher explained the formula very clearly.
The person in charge of the whole school is called the head teacher in British English or the principal in American English. The head teacher is responsible for everything that happens in the school. The principal makes the final decisions about school rules.
The people who help run the school but do not teach are called staff. This includes the school secretary, the librarian, the caretaker or janitor, and the receptionist. The caretaker looks after the building and makes repairs.
The person who looks after books in the library is called the librarian. The librarian helped me find a book about history. You need to show your library card to borrow books.
In British English, younger students at primary school are called pupils. Older students at secondary school or university are called students. A classmate is someone in the same class as you. I sat next to my classmate during the exam.
Now let's move on to school subjects. These are the different areas of learning that students study at school. Knowing these words is essential for talking about what you do or did at school.
Mathematics, or maths in British English, and math in American English, is the subject that deals with numbers, calculations, geometry, and problem solving. I've always found maths quite challenging, but very satisfying when you get the right answer.
English is the subject where students study the English language, literature, reading, and writing. Even in English-speaking countries, English is a formal school subject. We studied a Shakespeare play in English class last term.
Science includes physics, chemistry, and biology. In many schools, these are taught as separate subjects. In physics, you learn about forces and energy. In chemistry, you study elements and reactions. In biology, you learn about living things and the human body.
History is the subject where students learn about past events, people, and civilizations. We're studying the Second World War in history this term. Geography is the subject where students learn about the world, maps, climates, countries, and physical features of the Earth.
Languages are subjects where students learn to speak, read, and write in a foreign language. French, Spanish, German, and Mandarin are all commonly taught at school level.
Art is where students draw and paint. Music is where students sing and play instruments. Drama is where students learn to act and perform. Physical education, or PE, is where students do sports and physical activities. ICT, or computer science, is where students learn about computers and coding. Now let's talk about classroom equipment and stationery. These are the objects you find in a classroom and the things students use every day.
The surface at the front of the classroom where the teacher writes is called a board. A blackboard is the traditional dark board where you write with chalk. A whiteboard is a white surface where you write with special markers. Many modern classrooms have an interactive whiteboard, which is a digital screen connected to a computer.
The stick of colored powder used to write on a blackboard is called chalk. The pen used to write on a whiteboard is called a marker or a dry erase marker. The small cloth or sponge used to clean the board is called a board rubber in British English or an eraser in American English.
A desk is the table where a student sits to work. A chair is what the student sits on. The teacher usually has a larger desk at the front of the room. Students sit at their desks and face the board.
A textbook is a book used in a specific subject that contains the lessons and information students need to learn. We have a different textbook for each subject.
A workbook or exercise book is the book where students write their answers and do their practice exercises.
A notebook is a plain book where students write their own notes. A folder or a binder is used to organize loose papers and worksheets. Students usually have a separate notebook or folder for each subject.
A pen is used to write in ink. A pencil is used to write with graphite and can be erased. A ruler is a flat tool used to draw straight lines and measure length. A rubber or eraser is used to remove pencil marks. A sharpener is used to sharpen a pencil when the tip becomes blunt.
A pencil case is the small bag or container where students keep their pens, pencils, ruler, rubber, and sharpener. Always bring your pencil case to lessons. I left my pencil case at home and had to borrow a pen from my classmate.
A calculator is a device used in maths and science lessons to perform calculations. A compass is a tool used in geometry to draw circles. A protractor is used to measure angles. These are all common tools in a maths lesson.
A school bag or backpack is the bag students carry to and from school. It contains all their books, folders, and equipment for the day. I pack my school bag the night before so I do not forget anything in the morning.
Now let us talk about school day vocabulary.
The school day is divided into periods or lessons. Each lesson is a block of time where one subject is taught. A typical school day might have 5 or 6 lessons. Each lesson usually lasts between 45 minutes and an hour.
A timetable or schedule is the plan that shows which subjects are taught on which days and at what times. Students receive their timetable at the start of the school year. My timetable shows that I have maths first thing on Monday morning.
Break time or recess is a short rest period during the school day. Lunchtime is the longer break in the middle of the day when students eat.
Homework is the work teachers set for students to do at home. It helps students practice and remember what they have learned in class.
An exam is a formal assessment, usually longer. A test is shorter and less formal. A quiz is a short, informal check done in class.
A school report is a document sent to parents at the end of term showing how the student is doing in each subject. Teachers write comments about the student's progress.
Now let us talk about mistakes that learners commonly make with school vocabulary.
Mistake number 1. Confusing teacher and professor. A teacher works in a school with younger students. A professor works in a university and usually has an advanced academic qualification. Calling a school teacher a professor sounds strange. Always use teacher for school level and professor or lecturer for university level.
Mistake number 2. Confusing classroom and class. The classroom is the physical room. The class is the group of students or the lesson itself. I was late to class is about the lesson. The classroom was very warm is about the room. These two words are often confused, but they are different things.
Mistake number 3. Saying practice homework. You do homework, you do not practice homework, and you do not make homework. The correct phrase is do homework. I did my homework last night. Did you do your homework? Never make your homework.
Mistake number 4. Saying make an exam. In English, you sit an exam or you take an exam. In British English, it is very common to say sit an exam. In American English, take a test or take an exam is more natural. Never say make an exam or do an exam in formal English.
Mistake number 5. Confusing pupils and students. In British English, children in primary school are called pupils. Older learners in secondary school or university are called students. In American English, the word student is used at all levels. If you are writing in British English, try to use the correct word for the age group.
Mistake number 6. Using school for university. In everyday English, school usually refers to a primary or secondary school. University is a separate word for higher education. Saying, I'm going to school when you mean university sounds incorrect to native speakers. Say, I'm going to university, or I'm going to college.
6 mistakes and 6 clear corrections. Knowing these will help you sound much more natural and accurate when talking about education in English.
Now, let us hear 2 short conversations so you can see all of this vocabulary working naturally in real situations. First conversation. 2 students talking before school starts.
Did you remember to bring your science textbook today? We have a lab session this afternoon.
Yes, I packed it last night. I also brought my lab notebook and a spare pen. Do you know which lab we are in?
I think it's lab 2. I checked the timetable this morning. By the way, did you do the maths homework?
Most of it. I got stuck on the last question. I'm going to ask the teacher to explain it before class.
Good idea. I'm going to the library at lunchtime to finish my history essay. Do you want to come?
Sure, I need to return a book anyway. I'll meet you at reception after lunch.
Did you notice how naturally all the vocabulary came up? Science textbook, lab, timetable, homework, library, and reception, all used in a real, natural conversation.
Second conversation. A parent talking to a teacher.
Good evening. Please come in. Your daughter is doing very well in English class.
That's great to hear. She mentioned she's been struggling with exam preparation. Are there any textbooks you would recommend?
Yes, I would suggest this workbook. It covers everything that will come up in the exam. I would also encourage her to use the school library. There are lots of useful resources there.
Wonderful. When is the next school report sent out?
End-of-term reports go out in 6 weeks with comments from all her subject teachers.
That conversation showed exam, textbook, workbook, library, school report, and subject teachers all used naturally and correctly.
How did you do? These questions test real understanding of how the vocabulary works, and that's what builds genuine confidence.
Let us finish with a summary of the main vocabulary groups we covered today. Keep this in your memory, and you'll be able to talk about school in English with real confidence.
Places in a school: classroom, canteen or cafeteria, library, gymnasium or gym, playground, staff room, reception, and laboratory or lab.
People in a school: teacher, head teacher or principal, librarian, caretaker or janitor, secretary, pupil, student, and classmate.
School subjects: maths or math, English, science, physics, chemistry, biology, history, geography, languages, art, music, drama, PE, ICT or computer science.
School day equipment and stationery: board, chalk, marker, desk, chair, textbook, exercise book, notebook, folder, pen, pencil, ruler, rubber or eraser, sharpener, pencil case, school bag or backpack, calculator.
School day vocabulary: lesson or period, timetable or schedule, break time or recess, lunchtime, homework, exam, test, quiz, and school report.
And that's everything for today. We hope you feel really confident with all of this vocabulary now. School vocabulary comes up in so many everyday conversations in English, and it's going to be useful to you every day.
Here's your practice task. Write 5 sentences about your own school experience using vocabulary from today. Use at least one place in a school, one school subject, and one piece of equipment. That simple exercise will help all today's vocabulary move from your short-term memory into your long-term memory.
Leave your questions in the comments. We always love hearing from our listeners, and your feedback helps us make better episodes for you.
Share this episode with someone who is learning English. Every share means we can help more people, and that's exactly what we are here to do.
Take good care of yourself. Keep practicing, and remember that vocabulary grows one word at a time. You're making real progress every single day.
We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, and keep going. You're doing brilliantly.